Hello and welcome back to another video. And in today's video, it's kind of a special video because I started these type of farm vloggy type videos where I sort of talk into the camera, do some commentary, and then show me working on the farm, doing the bits and bobs and stuff. I think it's been about 2 years. I started around January 2023, so come January or February time 2026 it will be 3 official years that I started these type of videos. So I think it is about time that I do this. So in today's video I'm going to show you my sort of gear, how I record my videos, how I edit my videos, and give you some sort of behind the scenes glimpse of how these videos are made. So hopefully you might understand that it isn't all that easy trying to do farm work and then make a video at the same time. Can get a bit tricky at times as well. So anyways, I will unravel all the gear here and show you what I use to actually record my videos. So first of all, I'm using my camera to record this, but I also use my phone to record videos as well. Now the quality of this phone, it is a Samsung Galaxy A13. So the image quality, the video quality of this mightn't be as good as the actual camera itself, but it does get you out of sticky situations if the SD card is full on the camera, or the battery is dead, or I just forgot the camera at the house and I need to record something. This is always in a person's pocket and it has cameras and it can record and take pictures and whatnot. So it is a useful tool and instrument to have on these said persons when you're trying to record videos and do YouTube and that. So I guess that's my first bit of gear, a mobile phone. So talking about mobile phones, I'm currently recording this clip on my mobile phone. So first of all, this is the camera that I currently use, my main camera, to record my videos on YouTube. It is a GoPro Hero 10 Black. So obviously there's newer GoPros out there, and also there's other action cameras that rival the GoPro itself, like DJI and Insta360 and all them. But I have this now about a year and a half, and I paid quite a bit of money for it. So as long as this is still working, I'm going to keep this camera. But once it starts sort of malfunctioning, I might upgrade to maybe a better camera. But so far, this camera has done me justice. It has provided me with all the most of the videos that you've seen on this channel is this camera, or this action camera that I have used since I think probably June or July of 2024. I had a sort of a cheaper alternative version of a GoPro action camera, but obviously it wasn't really 100% the best and not as good as a GoPro. So I did upgrade to the GoPro and I haven't looked back since. The second instrument or tool I have is a tripod. This is an octopus tripod because it's flexible. You can see all the ball joints that's in it, so it can wrap around posts and gates and whatnot, which you'll probably see further on in the video. It's also, the camera just slides in there. You press this button, the little lip goes down, the camera slides in, you let go of that button, the lip comes up and the camera is secured in place. And I just sort of like hold it like that while recording, talking into the camera and whatnot. It's very handy to have. And there we go. You can see that the GoPro is attached into it. All I have to do is pick it up, record, talk into it, and record whatever footage I need to record. So yeah, and obviously it flexes as well. And last but not least, and also the newer addition to my gear, my setup, is the drone. So I have a nice little case for the drone here itself, and there it is. We have the remote for the drone itself, and a lot of other bits and bobs in there. So that's basically it, a nice compact sort of pouch or whatever for the drone itself. And there it is folded out. A nice little drone. You can see the camera is there in its protective cover that you take off, and as you can see, it is the DJI Mini 4K. If it'll focus, there we go, the Mini 4K, and an ultralight 249 grams. So you have your power button there, your batteries in the back there, along with the slot to charge your battery. The SD card is there. Currently the battery is flat, and this is the remote here. So, and you have your little sticks in there, which you take out and then screw in there, and then you can obviously operate it. And then you put the phone in this little clamp here, and then you get the live feed coming from the drone's camera onto your phone, and you can obviously see where you're flying and all that, which is pretty cool. Technology has come a long way. Now the DJI Mini 4K, which is the drone I have, is in DJI's drone wardrobe or category, catalogue, whatever. It is DJI's sort of budget, the lower end drones that they currently have out there. But a lot of people say it's the perfect type of drone for beginners like myself, because I've never actually owned a drone or operated a drone since I got this one. And I've only flew it a couple of times in whatever videos that I've recorded. Any drone footage in it is basically the only times that I've actually operated the drone and flew the drone. So yeah, there is, in sort of more expensive drones, you do have a lot of sensors around the drones that if you fly too close to like a tree or a building or something, it will sense that and it will avoid it, like an obstacle avoidance sensor. This doesn't, so it's only sort of you and your skill, but it's not as expensive as the higher end drones that DJI make. This was only about €300 plus the SD card, so not too bad. So now we will I'm going to do some feeding. Currently, as I'm recording this clip, I've actually all the feeding done and all this footage actually recorded. But we'll go now and do the feeding, throw a bit of silage, give a bit of meal and all that, and show you sort of behind the scenes, setting up the camera and all that. And now all is fed, silage scraped up, and the meal is given. So the next thing is the sort of the shots and the angles of the camera. So as you can see, I did wrap the camera here on the gate post, and you got the view of me sort of scraping silage and all that. Even if I was to bring out the tractor to put in a bale, there's a good external shot. But if I wanted to get an even more wider angle, a bit more view, I could put it up higher, which in that case I'd have to climb up the gate or get a ladder, line up the shot. I'd have to record a small clip. I'll have to take it down again, review the footage to see that I get the right angle, and then put it back up again if the angle is okay. If the angle isn't okay, put it back up, readjust it, record a short clip, take it down, review the footage again, throw it back up. It is a bit of a headache and a nightmare, especially when you have a lot of work to do on the farm. It does extend your workload that little bit more, but at the end of the day, I'm recording a video for YouTube for entertainment purposes and just basically like documentary purposes as well, so I don't mind. But always, always, farming comes first. I always prioritize the farming jobs before making a video. So if I'm in a mad panic, I'm not going to be worrying about, oh, I need to set up the camera, record a little clip here, and then so on and so forth, because setting up the camera, as I mentioned there a couple of seconds ago, can be a bit long-winded. So farming and the work and the farming chores and the farming jobs always come first. Also, when it comes to angles and stuff, you need to be constantly moving the camera around. There's no good me leaving the camera here for doing everything. I could leave the camera there for graping in the silage, giving the meal and throwing in a bale, but then that wouldn't be interesting when it comes to watching the video, because the camera is stuck in the same place throughout all them jobs. So I could have the camera there for doing one job, and then I'd have to stop what I'm doing, go get the camera and move it to a different location, a different angle and whatnot, set it up again, and then do the next job. So yeah, there's a lot of moving about the cameras, basically setting up the camera, doing whatever you need to do, stopping what you're doing to move the camera to a different location and to a different angle, start the recording again, and then go back to what you were at. It's a lot of back and forth, which also extends it also prolongs the time and all that as well. If I was to do a job without having to worry about moving cameras or just recording a video in general, I'd get the job done in no time. But when I'm making a video and I have to worry about the camera angles and all that sort of fun stuff, you could almost nearly double what it would take to actually do the job if I wasn't making a video. Take our International 674 here. So whether I'm mulching, topping, putting in a bale, there's a lot of different locations I can put the camera on, and I do tend to move it around so it's not just stuck in the same position or the same angle for the whole length of the time I'm doing the job. I could connect it to the back of the seat here, I could connect it here, I could wrap it around here, or I could also put it on the roof, which you may have seen in previous videos where I'm topping, mulching or putting in a bale. You may have seen or witnessed a load of them angles already. And obviously the angles that are further away and harder got, they take more time. The likes of the ones where it's on the back of the seat or on the back of the tractor, I'm already in the tractor, I can just turn around, make sure it's in the right angle and whatnot, and do that. If it's up on the top there, it's the same situation as the high angle out there. I'd have to climb up on top of the seat to put the camera up there, record a clip, take it down, make sure the angle is right, and then put it back up again. And if the angle isn't right, I have to do that process all over again. So that's the more sort of better angles, the further away angles, the angles where you get to see more of the picture are usually the ones that take that little bit more time and effort to set up the camera. And here I have to get out of the tractor, plant it here, or I could sort of maybe stretch and reach and put it here, set up the camera, hop back up onto the tractor to see the back screen, the bigger screen of the camera, to make sure the angle is okay, and then I can record it. So, you know, depending on what sort of angle you're doing and where you're putting your camera, whether it's in a very close and basic area or a more complex area or angle, it all depends on what you're trying to get, what angle you're trying to get. But obviously, you know, moving around the camera, doing different angles makes the video a bit more interesting. The viewer wants to stay and watch that little bit longer because you're moving the camera into different angles, showing different parts of the job and, you know, different angles, different perspectives of the job. And of course, when it comes to the angles, it basically depends how busy I am that day. If it's not awfully hectic, I can get more and more angles, and I can get the better angles that take that little bit longer to achieve. And if I am kind of very busy, and there's a lot going on that day, there won't be as many angles, and 9 times out of 10 they'll all be the sort of easy to achieve angles, the basic angles, which are more quicker to do. It's just slap the camera somewhere and away you go. You're not worrying about if the camera is pointing in the right place, does it need to be tilted down or up a bit more, and all that. So if I'm very busy, less moving around the camera, basic angles. If I'm very busy, if I'm not busy at all, there'll be more angles. The camera will be moved to different angles and locations, and I'll be able to achieve the more premium angles as well. Now I'm going to demonstrate moving around the cameras and getting different angles and different locations and all that. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to be doing a job as well. So there's very little meal in the bin, so I want to clear all that out and put it into maybe an empty meal bag or an empty manure bag. As you can see, there's many of them here. So what I want to do is set the camera up somewhere, film me sort of clearing around the meal bin, because I want to tip it up on its sort of flat so I can crawl in, scrape everything into a corner and then load it into a bag or whatnot. And then when I'm loading it into a bag, I'll have to move the camera, put it into a different angle to film that perspective of it going into the bag and all that. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So I have the bin emptied of the meal, and it's sort of latched and secured, ready to be loaded onto a flatbed trailer to go over to the place where we get our meal from and fill it back up again, hopefully this evening. And that's what's in the bag. Basically not a lot, probably just under or maybe in and around the quarter region full. So definitely meal needs to be gotten today. So you might be wondering, how long did that take me while making a video, while moving the camera around, getting different sort of angles? It took me 17 minutes to from start to finish, from tipping the bin over, scooping all the meal out, to put it into the bag, to tipping it back over, all while stopping every now and then to move the camera around into different angles. So a job that would have taken me maybe 1 or 2 minutes without recording a video took me 17 minutes to do when recording a video. Now I might have over exaggerated everything there just to prove a point and whatnot, just that the more better angles, the more better views and all, the more better picture, and that usually takes that little bit longer, while the more basic standard angles and views take that little bit more less time. So the point is, depending on what kind of angle you want, whether it's a more probably better angle than a more sort of premium angle than a more basic angle, the more premium angle will take that little bit more time to obviously set up and all that. Obviously walking back and forth to move the camera around and all that, but that's just the life of an agri YouTuber, and just like a vloggy type YouTuber in general. And there's a high chance that someone in the comments might be saying, well, why don't you just stop doing the YouTube altogether if it's taken that length of time to do a very simple short job? Same reason why did you click on the video? Why did you watch it to this length? Why did you listen to me? Why do you watch other similar YouTubers, especially agricultural farming YouTubers out there? Because they do the exact same thing, if not very similar to what I'm doing, in the aspect of just moving around cameras and trying to get different angles and all that. So but that's basically why YouTube is one of my sources of income. Obviously I have away from farming and away from YouTube, I have other different sort of gigs or jobs or whatever you want to call them. In the summertime I work for our old contractor, who has basically he doesn't have as much customers as he used to back in his heyday, but I work for him in the summer doing silage for himself and maybe the 2 or 3 customers that he has, because he is getting on in years and he is starting to slow down a small bit. And obviously away from YouTube and just farming, including the contracting, because that's farming as well, I have other bits and bobs out there where I get a source of income as well. I have a lot of different things going around. I have my hands in a lot of different pies, if you wish. So YouTube obviously is one of my sources of income, along with many other of my other sources of income that I have as well. So basically that's why I do it, and because I enjoy doing it. And if there's someone out there that's having a bad day or is going through some things in life, sometimes just watching a video, listening to music, whatever, can take their mind off that for a short period of time. And if I'm entertaining people as well, if I'm making anyone out there that's having a bad day or going through something in life in general, if I'm making them happy, giving them a bit of entertainment and getting their mind off whatever is bothering them, also you have to look at it that way as well. I am a YouTuber, I'm an entertainer, I'm a farmer, basically a lot of things. So yeah, why does any other farming YouTuber do videos and record themselves on the farm? So, you know. Now, sticking with the comments section, you get a lot of nice people out there that leave some nice comments and all that. You get some people that leave constructive criticism, which I don't mind, but there is a difference, there is a fine line between constructive criticism and just being an absolute dick, basically. Obviously I don't mind constructive criticism, people saying I could have done a job this way or something different to make my life easier. and whatnot, and I do take that up, and I do take that into consideration, and sometimes I do adopt your ideas as well. But then there's other people out there that are just absolute dicks, and reading those comments, yes, they can get to you. Even YouTubers that have been doing YouTube for quite a while, it does get to them as well. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to build a community on my YouTube channel that's friendly, kind, gives constructive criticism, but is not a dick. So also, what I record and post onto YouTube isn't always what I do on the farm. I do other stuff on the farm that I just don't record. There's like taking down and putting up electric tape, cutting timber and kindling and splitting and all that. A lot of other jobs that I don't record because those type of jobs, the viewers, you mightn't find that interesting in a standalone video. But recently I've started doing these videos where I compile a load of jobs into one video. So whatever I get up to in a day or a week, I compile all that into one video. And in some of them videos I do record them jobs like splitting timber or tidying out a corner of a shed or taking down electric tape or putting up electric tape or something like that, where they wouldn't make it as a standalone video because they're just not that interesting to watch. So I'll just throw a lot of them, those jobs, into a compiled video, and obviously I can just maybe like have 5 minutes rather than make a full 15 to 20 to 25 minute video of splitting timber or moving fences and all that stuff, or cleaning out a shed, which wouldn't be interesting. Then when all is done, I have the video made. I continue around the farm doing bits and bobs off camera, and then later on that night, or maybe the next night or the next night after that, I will go and edit the video, which is what I'm going to tap into next. How I edit the videos, what I use to edit the videos, and the techniques I use to edit my videos. So let's tap into that aspect of it now. So the editing software I use is called Power Director, and when you open it up first, this is what you're greeted with before I add in any of the clips that I've recorded. So what I'll do now is I'll add in all the clips I've recorded, then come back to you and show you what it's like with all the clips sort of in here. So all the clips now have been added, and this is what I'm greeted with, so we can start the process of actually editing the video. The first step, so in editing, once all the clips are here, is to delete all the unwanted footage. So usually I have maybe 1 or 2 seconds at the start of a clip before when I hit record on the camera, and then there's 1 or 2 seconds at the end of the clip before I hit end record, and it's those bits, the silent bits, that I want to trim out and delete. Hello and welcome back. So you can see here that there's about 2 seconds there roughly. When I press record on the GoPro, I leave 2 seconds of silence, then start speaking, just to make sure that it's recording and it's going to get everything.
Hello and welcome
and
back
it's that
to another video.
clip, the few seconds at the start of a clip and those few seconds at the end of the clip, that I want to trim out and delete, as you're seeing right now. If we scroll to the end of this clip, and the 2 seconds that I leave at the end of a clip before I hit stop recording, we'll do the same as we've done at the start of the clip. We'll find out where the bit is where I stop talking and it's silent as well, and trim that bit out.
Anyways, I will unravel all the gear here and show you what I use to actually record my videos.
And here it is, the bit at the end of the sentence when I stop talking. I'm going to trim that bit, and you can see the little section there deleted, and it's done.
I will unravel all the gear here and show you what I use to actually record my videos.
And then we do the same process for every other clip
first of all,
in the video. I have removed the silent bits at the end of the first clip and the start of the second clip, so we can see how they transition in together after the editing. So when I finish a sentence in the first clip, it'll jump straight to the start of a sentence in the second clip.
Anyways, I will unravel all the gear here and show you what I use to actually record my videos. So first of all, I'm using my camera to record.
And there is that little bit of silence, the little clip that I trimmed out and deleted from the actual second clip, so the first clip and the second clip transition smoothly into each other. Now we'll move on to the time-lapse footage.
So this is the footage where I speed up, so I'm moving around quicker than I am in real life time, and then I throw some music over it. So we'll just highlight the clip. As you can see, we'll go to speed, standard speed, and then we'll move this. You can see the raw footage is 143.4 seconds. We're going to move the speed dial up to ×4, and then you can see that the raw footage, 143.4 seconds, is now speeded up to 35.8 seconds. Then we'll mute that and then put music over it. So now we've come to the end of the video and the end of the editing process. So you can see we have it down to 28 minutes and 1 second. And before I started editing, the raw video totaled up to 34 minutes and 36 seconds. And that's before adding these clips that I'm recording now of the editing. So this video could be going into well in its 30-minute mark. Now other videos, the raw footage, unedited clips, could total well up to the hour mark. And then after all the trimming and cutting of the unwanted pieces in those clips and speeding up the time-lapse footage, I could get a 1 hour raw video cut down to like 20 minutes or a 30-minute edited video. So there's 30 minutes or 40 minutes of a raw video being cut out and sped up for time lapses. So that, there's a lot there wasted when editing. But that's basically the editing process and how I edit my videos.